stars come to shine when it's dark. From so far away, show us where we are. What makes the sun go to sleep every night, and what's it dreaming of?
As a photographer, I've never been super afraid to look outside for inspiration or ideas. I think we have some kind of stigma in the community that, all of our work has to be super creative or has to be super original and it has to look different from everyone else's. And I know that's really hard. Like, it's not realistic for us to always be coming up with the next big thing. And that's not really possible anyway. A lot of our work stems from other inspiration and other ideas. And so it's kind of impossible to always make something completely original, which is besides the point anyway. Most of us make photography for our own pleasure, for our own art, or to share a message with the outside world, or, obviously to do it as a profession. But I recently did a photo shoot called She's on Airplane Mode, and I wanted to share with you my inspiration for that, where I got the references, and how I came up with the idea overall, and how I made it into, a photo shoot that's now complete. And so I'm quite an emotional person. A lot of my inspiration comes from either music, or it might come from movies or images, and it also might come from lyrics or words. And for my inspiration for the She's on Airplane Mode photo shoot, it came from lyrics. So I heard this song, this Korean song called Airplane Mode, and you can already see how this ties together. The song's called Airplane Mode, and although there's basically no English lyrics besides that line, I had this idea in my head of what the mood was all about first. And then when they sang about airplane mode, that got me thinking, okay, so what's airplane mode? Airplane mode is that mode on your device where you turn on when you're boarding an airplane, or you turn on when you want to just disconnect from the world. And for myself, I kind of related to that immediately when I was thinking about the current situation and quarantine. I really wanted to travel, and I really wanted to disconnect from my phone because I've been on it for so many hours a day that's actually kind of been unhealthy. So I thought about airplane mode in that sense, where it's just wanting to travel and disconnecting from the world. And that was the beginning of my inspiration for the photo shoot. I'm the kind of guy who's always on the lookout for the next photo shoot idea. And so I listened to this song a few more times so that I could develop this idea of mine. And then I thought of, having this photo shoot out in an open field near the water, around a lot of dry grass, because I knew that winter was coming around. And also I wanted to be around sunset time, which is kind of the most moody time of the day. Maybe sunset to near like that blue moon hour. And obviously with the photo shoot being called airplane mode, I wanted to incorporate some kind of airplane in it. So then I had the idea of the model holding a toy airplane. I didn't want a paper airplane because, it's a bit too cop out. So I wanted to have a toy airplane and then having it styled, and then she's holding it kind of out towards the sunset. And this is my idea for the photo shoot so far. Now, when I develop these kind of ideas, the first thing that I always do is to jot them down. Write them down somewhere in your notebook, somewhere that's accessible and that you won't lose it. After having it down on paper and the idea is still fresh in my head, I immediately went on Pinterest and Instagram to look for a few different key images that summed up the photo shoot. They don't have to be what the photos look like. This is just what the photo elements are and what the photo feels like in general. For myself, one of my tricks is to use 4 different key images and to have them all in a square. And then when someone looks at the image, it's like, oh yeah, it's a no-brainer. I know exactly what the photo shoot is about, and that's exactly what you want in a mood board. I probably spent around 5 to 10 minutes looking for different key images for the elements that I wanted. And this was about the, what kind of location I want, what are my props that I'm using, and what does the overall mood of the photo look like. And so piecing these all together in a mood board really helps the other people that you're working with understand what you want to do for the photo shoot. Speaking of other people, I knew that I couldn't do this photo shoot by myself. And so I reached out to other people that I thought might be interested and I thought might be fitting for the photo shoot. First person I reached out was to Daphne, who was the model for the photo shoot. And I asked her, hey, would you like to be part of this photo shoot? I sent her the concept, I sent her the mood board, and then she was like, yep, that sounds like a cool idea. And I guess stemming from that, one of the other questions that I'm frequently asked is, how do you reach out to different models for your photo shoots? And if it's for someone that's brand new that I haven't talked to or I haven't met, Usually I'll provide them with a concept or a mood board first when I first DM them. So I don't usually say, hey, would you like to collab? And I have no ideas. I usually come back to them with an idea. So then if they're interested in the idea, they might be interested in working with me on that idea as well. And I knew with my own photography style, I wanted to incorporate a lot of natural elements, a lot of floral elements as well. So then I DM'd my florist styling friend Eunice, who's really, really talented in her department. I asked her if she could style an airplane. And initially I had no idea what that might look like. I had no idea, what she would use or in what way she'd style it, but I asked her if she was up for the challenge in doing that. And that's part of the reason why I love collaborating with other creatives as well, is that they'll always have their own ideas and we can work together on a single concept. We also thought of having a flower crown in the photo, and I thought that was such a great idea, and I haven't thought of that one before for this photo shoot. So then we talked about different elements that would fit the winter or kind of like cooler theme, because it's winter now in Melbourne. And then we came up with the idea of having the dry grass, having those dry leaves, and that would really fit in with the location that I had in mind. I then went on to spend another 5-10 minutes to create another mood board for finding key images for what the props would look like. And these would mostly be about the dry grass elements and also what kind of mood I want the colors of the photo to be. And the next thing that I was thinking about was the outfit for the photo. And I didn't think too much about this one, but I knew that I wanted the outfit to convey a very freedom, a very flowy kind of feel, right? And so a summer kind of dress was going to be like a no-brainer for that. I also wanted to make sure that the outfit colors were going to coordinate with the mood board colors, which is why we went for a pink dress. And the last thing that I had to think about was the location, which is always the tough one. Because at least with props, you can kind of create them from from nothing, right? But with locations, especially if you're someone like me who loves to shoot outdoors, you're kind of limited to what you have around you. And so you either have to get really creative or you have to know a lot of different spots that would suit different concepts. Luckily for me, I knew the spot, which is near Phillip Island in San Remo, and I knew that I wanted to shoot it in sunset time. And I knew that this location would be really fitting because it had a lot of those dry grass elements. I knew that it was going to be really open. I knew that it was next to water and it was high up. So it's going to look really, really good, especially at sunset. And I knew that it was going to be a bit quiet and not many people were going to be out there. It took me a while to think of that idea for this location, but I reckon it suited the concept quite well. And that's just my opinion of what I think of the photo shoot. And a few days pass and Eunice comes back to me with her progress for the plane. And let me show you. This is what she made. So cool, am I right? I think she nailed it perfectly. That's what I told her. I was like, you nailed this perfectly and like it looks so good. It's not too styled, but I think it still has that vintage. It has that, antique kind of like playful toy quality. And, it looks great. It completely has that wintry look. And I was like, damn, that is so good. Like I said before, she also made a head crown and she placed them all in a basket, and I think it tied together all really nicely. So big shouts to Eunice. I'll have her Instagram down below. You did an amazing job on this photo shoot with me. And so now that we have everything that we need for the photo shoot and we've made our idea from just an idea on paper to now we have like actual props and actual physical things that you can hold from it, all we have to do now is just to do the photo shoot. I'm super glad to say that this photo shoot went quite smoothly, and initially I was a bit worried because there's a lot of people that are collaborating with me on this one and that it was a big of a team effort. This is not like my usual photo shoots as well. Not all my photo shoots are like this, and so I really wanted this one to go really smoothly and really well, and I'm really glad to say that it did. And although a lot of my photo shoots don't require crazy props, a lot of them do start with initial ideas around music or lyrics or other images and feelings. And it's been consistent throughout my work. I always use some kind of reference point, and I will usually start with a caption anyway when I start with photo shoots. And so it really gives me a really good starting point into what I want the photo shoot to look like and become. And I usually do that with most of my portrait photo shoots. Hopefully you guys have learned something helpful in this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching it as well. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, and if you want to see more content from me, subscribe down below. Big shouts to everyone that helped me work on this photo shoot. I'll have everyone's links in the description, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.